The digital dollar could give the feds control of your money. Get the digital dollar report. Call 1-800-862-6970 and also receive a $1,000 credit from Priority Gold to protect your money. Or just go to digitaldollarreport.com.
Please note the information provided does not constitute financial or investment advice. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
My son, Sergeant Hassan Korea, an Afghanistan War retired veteran. He received enemy fire from the Taliban, only to be murdered with a knife on the streets of New York City. The 4 assailants responsible for his death initially were facing justice, but that changed when District Attorney Alvin Bragg was elected. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who claim to represent us, have abandoned us. They neglected the poor minority communities across America. But mine eyes have been opened. Just like so many other poor minorities across America. Donald Trump shares our values, love of God and family and country.
Huge moment on stage last night here at the RNC. Madeline Brahm talking about her son who, again, survived the Afghanistan war but was murdered on the streets of New York. Same old story, folks. Fat, stupid, racist DA Alvin Bragg did nothing about it. So on a night where there's a lot of fantastic speakers, Elise Stefanik, Steve Scalise, House Speaker Mike Johnson, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. How about Nikki Haley? Ron DeSantis, and the one I believe that stole the show, most agree, Laura Trump. It was Madeline Brahm. She was the not famous person who really struck a chord. She was fantastic. So here we are, day 3 live on Radio Row, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 2024 RNC. Another big night coming up tonight. In fact, my friend out of South Carolina, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, she's going to speak tonight, and she's going to join me live right here on Radio Row. Kimberly Guilfoyle will speak tonight. I think she's going to join me tomorrow. J.D. Vance, who Donald Trump on Monday picked as his VP running mate, he's going to speak tonight. All these guests, star-studded, and many great Americans that are not famous, all leading up to the big one late tomorrow night when President Donald J. Trump accepts the nomination and shuts down this RNC. We'll still be here through Friday's show, Sid and Friends in the Morning. We're the only show left on Friday. But the next 2 days promises to be pretty spectacular. So yesterday, our coworker, Cindy Adams, I love Cindy. Cindy is a riot on this show. She's not good. She's great. But I got to tell you, and my next guest, Curtis, he can confirm this. I had many conversations on and off the air with Cindy Adams. She couldn't stand Mayor Eric Adams. Couldn't stand him. Now, I don't remember how she felt about Kathy Hochul. My gut tells me she couldn't stand her either. But yesterday, 80 years after the fact, Cindy Adams gets this huge deserved honor. She gets this honorary high school diploma. And sitting there, Mayor Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul. And I don't know about you folks, but it made me nauseous. And something tells me my next guest felt the same. Big ratings, noon to 1 every weekday on the Rip and Read. Big ratings, weekend overnights, and of course, does a tremendous job about this time every weekday morning with me right here. The icon, the legend, Mr. Guardian Angel, Curtis Sliwa. So Kurt watching Eric and Kathy and all the folks celebrating Cindy Adams yesterday. How did that go for you?
Not good. That's the second time they've given her a graduation certificate from Jackson High School in Southeast Queens, which she didn't graduate. I got ugats. I got bupkis, right? I got kicked out of Brooklyn Prep to Jesuit High School, never looked back. What do I get? What do I get, Sid, from these folks?
Well, you should get an honorary degree. I agree with you. Some type of big deal.
Well, I ain't getting nothing from Eric Adams, and I ain't getting nothing from Kathy Hochul, who's full of nonsense. By the way, while you're there in Milwaukee, let me tell you what this mayor is doing. He has sent his tactical patrol force to 86th Street and 25th Avenue, right in the heart of Bensonhurst. They put up all the barriers because people have come out. They're tearing the building down so they can build a migrant shelter there at 3 o'clock in the morning. How dastardly, how despicable, how cowardly. While all this is going on, he decides to sneak in another illegal alien shelter, stick it right in Bensonhurst, a stable community, and you know what that's going to cause people to do? Put the for sale signs up and move the hell out.
Are there any Italians left in Bensonhurst? I see all these crazy pro-Palestinian rallies, not just the illegals, but those sickos as well, taking place in Bay Ridge, I always go, where are all the tough Italians? What about Bensonhurst? Are they all gone?
No, they're still there, but there are a lot of Asians, a lot of Chinese, and they've joined in a coalition. In fact, I'm supporting a guy, a former cop, former member of the military, Steve Chan, running there to take over that community in the upcoming election. And I'm going to be heading out there later. But, I mean, come on. Under the cover of darkness, you coward, Eric Adams. You are a coward. You have to send in a tactical patrol force with barriers because the people are upset. They've had so many demonstrations to shove more of your illegal alien friends into another neighborhood you're going to destabilize.
I wonder this, again, I left for Milwaukee on Saturday morning, so I've been in Wisconsin now, Curtis, as you know, for the better part of 5 days, and I'm not watching any of the local news in New York. I do read the New York Post every morning, so I was aware of Madeline Brahm. Obviously, I didn't see her speak last night. I was aware of Adams at this high school, Cindy Adams graduation, but has the mayor said anything about the assassination attempt on President Trump?
Yeah. They had like a unity rally hosted by, of all people, Al Slim Shady Sharpton. If anyone is going to separate people, it's Al Slim Shady Sharpton. So it's all for show. But let me tell you about why I was celebrating all last night, dancing the whore in the tarantella. For 10 years. For 10 years, I've worked night and day, and you know this, Sid Rosenberg, to nail the most crooked U.S. senator of all the crooked senators up on the Hill, Bob Menendez. 16 counts of corruption, go Bob Menendez, with the money stuffed in his customized jackets. The jury came back 16 guilty charges. This guy's going away for a long, long time. This is another notch on the belt of the U.S. Attorney of the Southern District, Damian Williams. And now that he's finished with this crook, you know who's next up in the docket.
Well, let me take, but before I guess, it is kind of silly, to your point, Curtis, to hear Chuck Schumer and all these Democrats like really upset yesterday. Well, we expect Menendez to step down. Chuck, baby. Don't worry about him stepping down. He's going to prison for the rest of his life. He's going to step down at some point. He's on his way to jail, dummy. But my guess is, up after Bob Menendez, just a guess, Mayor Eric Adams.
Wow, you are a savant. You are like Karnak the Magnificent, remember, from the old Johnny Carson show.
He put that card right to his forehead and was able to figure it out. That was a great skit.
Yeah, hey, Eric, enjoy your time out now because, let's face it, Damian Williams, he's on fire. Everybody he's gone after, he's nailed. He's got notches on his belt. And now with 4 different investigations simultaneously going on in the Eric Adams administration, you know the clock is ticking. And boy, I got to tell you, with all the corruption that we see at City Hall for sale, and he's given our city over to the illegal aliens, the worst sin of all, destroyed our city for the illegal aliens.
You know, I keep watching all these Trump cases, Curtis, basically go away, right? We had that huge Supreme Court ruling on immunity last week. Just yesterday, Eileen Cannon decided in the state of Florida to drop the documents case. So we had all these cases, all these indictments akin to Mayor Eric Adams, and one by one for President Trump, and thank God for this, they're all going away. What leads me to believe, despite the Menendez guilty verdict, that the same can't happen for the mayor.
You know, I was listening to you yesterday with Congressman Brian Stiles telling you that Wisconsin is a great place to be in July. Yeah. And you said better than Hawaii, and the schmuck said, oh, yeah, much better than Oahu. Yeah. You keep believing that. You know, a great place to be in Milwaukee, right, in July for a convention. What do you have to walk, like 5 miles through Checkpoint Charlie? And still, 2 guys started to have a battle out in the streets with knives, and one of them had to be shot dead. Yeah, you're in a great city there in Milwaukee. Who got paid off in order to have the RNC convention there?
I will say this. You know, Trump took a pretty good shot at Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago, and I've not been to Milwaukee ever. I've been to La Crosse, and I've been to Green Bay. I saw Brett Favre and the Packers take on Randy Moss and the Vikings, and for folks that don't know, it's about a 2-hour trip to get to Lambeau Field in Green Bay from where we are this morning. About 90 minutes to Chicago on one end, about 2 hours to Green Bay. But I got to tell you, it's a nice little town.
Yeah.
It is.
Notice,
now,
you're
look,
in
security is overwhelming, and we're staying at a hotel that's 20 miles away.
Sid, you're talking
to
me.
Town.
You're talking to me, a hood rat, right? They got a green zone there. They won't even let you go up the 16th Street Viaduct into the hood.
I'm telling you right now, you couldn't be more wrong. Everything is centralized. It's a nice little town, good restaurants, good bars. And guess what? Guess what I don't see here in Milwaukee every day, junkies. I see a few. I don't see a bunch of homeless. I see, I did see a pro-Palestinian rally. But I tell you what Milwaukee reminds me, Curtis. Every time I go to another city that's got a reputation for folks that don't know, they just don't know, I harken back to where I live in New York City, and guess what? My city is worse.
Well, I'm not going to dispute that, but let's flip off to what you were talking about. I don't know if you're aware, but the Butler County Sheriff in charge doubled down in his defense of his Barney Fife cop who ran away from the gunman who pointed the AR-15 at him. And now he's saying the guy should get a medal. He saved Trump's life because he distracted the gunman. And you're talking about, oh, my God, was this a lousy job or an inside job? Wake up, Sid.
No.
Wake up.
Let me remind you, give you 2 classic examples of guys that did the same exact thing this cop did. Uvalde, those cops were scared to death because, they're human. They didn't go inside until all those kids were dead. Hold on. And the same thing in Parkland, Florida. When the guy guarding the door. You're wrong, Curtis. People are human. They get scared. We saw it in Uvalde. We saw it in Parkland. And we saw it here. Not everything is a conspiracy.
Right. And that they become cops to run away and not do their job.
Yes, they do. A lot of them do.
Well, let me bring this to your attention. Let me bring this to your attention.
Yes.
Secret Service had amped up the security last month because of the threat against Trump from Iran. That's amped up security.
No,
come on, Sid.
You're right. They did a bad job. What do you want me to tell
Did you see those female secret security officers fumbling their guns like Barney Fife? What the hell is wrong with you, Sid? A kid, right? A nerd, a dweeb gets 130 yards out for 26 minutes. They took pictures of him twice. 26 minutes. He's on his phone. He's staking out the area. He brings a backpack. He's got a gun. He's doing a bear crawl on the roof.
Okay, so tell me, I know what happened. So tell me this then, because I think you sound crazy. I think you all do.
Oh, you think I sound crazy,
sound crazy,
right?
You sound crazy. But let's say I'm going to play your game for a little while and say, you're right, it was an inside job. Who was it? Who got paid off? Who was it? The Secret Service? Did Biden tell the people to allow this kid to shoot Trump? Why don't you give me the scenario which proves your story above and beyond a lousy job by Secret Service? Give me the scenario.
Sid, let me ask you a question.
No,
why are they closing?
Curtis, don't answer my question.
Why are they closing this investigation on this guy now? Why? Why? You really believe there were no connections?
Curtis, don't answer my question with a question. If you're going to go out there and you're not alone and talk about an inside job, which I think is ridiculous, give me the scenario.
Let me tell you some shit.
Answer my question.
You who are defending chicken little police officers and Secret Service agents. I've been shot 5 times. I didn't run. I don't give in to fear, fright, hysteria, and hype. What the hell is wrong with you,
This
Sid?
conversation's over. Thank you, Curtis. Great job as always. Just because you got shot doesn't mean everybody is like you. This is ridiculous.
You defend those chicken cops.
I'm not defending
who basically allowed Donald Trump to really get a sack.
Shut up, Curtis. God, shut up. Shut up. I didn't defend the cops once. I'm the one saying the cops did a lousy job. What I'm saying is cops do get scared. It happened in Uvalde. It happened in Parkland. And until you give me the scenario, real specifics, tell me who was in on this inside job. Was it Secret Service that allowed this kid to shoot the president? Was it Biden? I need more specifics other than this is clearly an inside job. Yes, there's some proof there that maybe you're right. That if you're going to make that bold statement, give me the actual inside job. I've given you 2 other places where kids pulled off the same thing and cops were afraid. Uvalde and Parkland. If you're going to call it an inside job, tell me what happened here.